Hey, welcome to Ice Age TV. Continued morning conversations. Getting ready to get into the jet engine truck here. Yikes, right? Hey, what am I doing now? I'm going to drive the Ram 3500 Mega Cab diesel. I could drive the Maverick. I could drive the race truck. I could drive the Bronco. Raptor, no. Ranger, no. F450. I don't drive the Ram 3500 truck. The black Ram's down there. The kid drives that, right? So here I am, getting my day going, and got the truck all nice and warmed up. And I got about a 200 plus mile drive. And I like to take the Ram truck today. I don't drive this a lot. It's got a lot of miles on it, so I kind of try not to abuse the situation, if you know what I mean. But I just love these Ram trucks. It's such really the Mopar guy. I mean, that's really my true beginnings for me, getting my kind of my career and business going is the Ram products. And even though I've transitioned over to the Ford product, but I just love, it's really interesting now for me. I've always had so many newer trucks, and usually I buy new things, but you're trying to find the technology side, it just doesn't end on, what do I have, what do I got, blah 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 blah. And yeah, so just trying to jump from one vehicle to another and have all my equipment and my tools and where am I going and what am I doing. But I just love the Ram product. I just feel the Ram product, it just is such a better product on the heavy duty end of how they drive. I mean, sincerely, I've had all the Ford Super Duties now, and these Ram trucks to me are just so much nicer a driving vehicle. I mean, I'm not lying to you. And here I've got one with 81,000 miles on it, and this thing to me drives like it's still brand new. I mean, it really does. So yeah, heading up the road. So get this. The guy that works for me, Joe, you probably have seen him around a little bit. And that guy, this morning, he's like, where's the 4Runner? He's like, you bought another car. I'm like, yeah, sure did. He's like, well, damn, I want that 4Runner. So now I'm having to call the dealer and saying, hey, don't advertise that thing yet. The gentleman that works for me wants that car, and what you sell it to me for. They paid me $40. So yeah, so what are they gonna, this is really intriguing too, because back in like 2012, probably close to 10 years ago, I would have to actually say, Joe that worked for me, he's been working with me quite a while. I had a FJ Cruiser 2008 that I traded in for a Toyota Sienna minivan, and all of a sudden he's like, wow, I really want that FJ Cruiser, because he was working out of it all the time. I let him use it, and he had just recently bought a Ford Black Mustang, and I told him, I was like, man, that thing just isn't going to be, this week. Can this guy pull this off? Yeah, he can. He got it. Good job. So, he's got aluminum gutter on it. There's just aluminum gutters. He needs it for the length of the bed of the trailer. But anyways, so he ended up buying that FJ Cruiser from the dealership. And come on, dude, what are you gonna do? So just turn on your blinker. Turn on your blinker. Blinker. Yeah. So, anyways, he oh wow, there's a nice Mega Cab. 10 years ago, he bought my FJ Cruiser from a Toyota dealership that I traded it in on for a minivan. Well, here we go again. He's now like, hey, I think I want that vehicle. I'm like, well, you better raise your hand right now. That 4Runner, it's going to disappear if they price it right. Now, they're not real greedy. But now the question is, what are they going to charge, to buy it back, basically? And my guess is they're going to say, want 43 grand for the car. I mean, used car side, these guys usually want a good $3,000 to $3,500, markup on a vehicle they take in. I mean, my guess is they're going to advertise that vehicle like 46, $999, and see if the market, then they'll get it down to 45, 44. I'd say at the end of the day, they'd let it go for like 43. That'd be my guess. But what are they going to do right out of the gate? You know, they were named the page yesterday. Like, you know, we got a $5,000 possible profit center here. I don't know. But even the guy that works for me, he's even on page like, maybe we'll just pick up a regular 4Runner and forget it. I'm like, yeah, but the Pro, you'll never lose out on that value of that vehicle. If you can get it at a respectable number, just like for me, if I were to try something at myself in the market, I feel very confident I'd get 43 out of that vehicle. I mean, 44, maybe. Maybe a little more. Today's market, not so much. A year ago, yeah, probably get 48 for it. So anyways, just the ongoing car, you know, purchases, enthusiasm. Jesus Christ, it just doesn't end, right? It doesn't end. But for this truck with 81,000 miles on it, this thing is in, you know, the bigger tire wheel package. This is such a cool truck, and it's so much fun. And then the story of my life is I jump from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle because I live behind the wheel of a car, and I just get so bored of trying to drive the same damn thing all the time. And then I wanted something different, and that's what happened. And I thought the way to kind of, believe it or not, I thought years ago, the way to kind of help that challenge is I'll just own a bunch of cars, and that way I can constantly rotate my different rides. But even at that, even doing that, I've come to realize that still doesn't satisfy the car addiction of me wanting to have something different. I mean, for the most part. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It's right now, as I'm going to be turning 60 years old in February. Wow, yikes! I mean, I know at some point in my life, I just have to say, you know what? I've had my fun, I've had my day, and it's really just, you know, keep it simple, and you just have to kind of keep the things you have and leave it at that, and be done with it, right? I mean, can I do that? Can I accomplish that? You know, as an individual, just always wanting the latest, greatest. And the change up, you know, how do I accomplish that? Well, you accomplish it by just totally getting incredible discipline to quit spending the money and just turn it off. Yeah, I mean, that's challenging. So anyways, riding up here to Baltimore, Bel Air, Maryland today, so it's a good little drive. And it's cool up here. It's a typical kind of, we're not really getting any, you know, much of a winter. It really is pretty incredible. This will now, I think this will be now definitely the second year of not much of a winter. Third, possibly a third winter here in the Northeast, or I should say more of the Mid-Atlantic area. And I think to myself about the landscaping guys that are out there that buy all their snow equipment. So if you're a guy that owns a landscaping company and you got caught up in a moment 4 or 5 years ago where we're getting some pretty good winters, and you went out and invested a lot of money in your snow equipment for potential snow removal, man, I just can't see how you're just not like, oh my gosh, you know, just I'm selling this stuff. I wonder how many have done that. You know, where like just I'm out. I can't have all this money tied up in all this equipment. I don't make any money. So roads, we'll hear decent amount of people on the roads right now. So that's the thing that kind of befuddles me is I travel around the country, which I do. You know, I really do see a lot of sights and scenery. And traffic isn't like it's getting lighter. To me, the traffic, for the most part, is getting heavier. And I see so many construction trucks out. I see so many delivery trucks out. But yet, all you hear is the continued gloom and doom of how the country's in a recession. And things, you know, are more challenging. But yet, me being out and about as much as I am, I don't see any radical. I just don't see the radical of that. So what that used to be, that was probably a gas station back in the day. The old road was actually down there near the river. Believe it or not, the road here used to parallel that river so many years ago. I know some people that sadly are no longer here, but I know people, met people that drove the road along this river before they, you know, re-engineered the road. pretty incredible. It's hard to believe, really, even for me. I think the C&O Canal, the Potomac River, going into Maryland, and I used to ride my bicycle along this bicycle path here up to like Leesburg, but that actually goes over into Poolesville, Maryland. Then you get on the ferry. There used to be a ferry about probably 10 miles up the river there. I would say at least 10 miles, but that's no longer in operation because of land dispute. It's a major land dispute argument. The family that owned the ferry on the Maryland side used the Virginia side for a docking point to unload the cars, and the family that owns the land on the Virginia side, they want to share the monies being made, and it's been a major blowout of who thought was fair and wasn't fair on how much they would receive for using the land to unload the cars, to the point that the ferry eventually sold out to a major big time moving company owner that lives out where I live, where he's been buying up land left and right, putting in conservation, preservation. He's a good guy, so he bought the ferry, and he's hoping he could resolve the differences of the disputes between him owning the ferry now. It's called White's Ferry, and it's up here in Leesburg, Virginia, in Poolesville, Maryland. You can actually look it up. You'd see the story on how the ferry is no longer in business over the Virginia landing side dispute, to the point that the new owner, JK Moving is who the owner is. He's borderline may look for the state to create eminent domain to be able to use that other person's part of land, because the people that own the land, they're wanting a ridiculous amount of money. Who really knows? I mean, what's fair, what's not fair, but they're wanting a good size of money just for someone to come and use their driveway, basically, to unload cars to a road that puts you back up here on this Route 15 area. And so it's unfortunate. So the reason I talk about that is when I used to ride my bicycle on that path, you could ride that path and cross over back into Virginia on a ferry. And I even have pictures and I think video of me on that ferry on my YouTube channel, where you can go across the river and really cool. But now you can't. So how does that all play out? It's all about the money, right? Never ending, all about the money. What is the temperature? I mean, so many different cars. Is the temperature on this vehicle? What is the outside? There it is, 45 degrees outside temperature. And interesting message. So is this thing here? I don't even know. It just kind of seems like the seat is up a little bit. Got the heated seat on, or do I? Did. Let's see if it's still on. The older vehicle, it's interesting too. In this vehicle here, the heated seat level, it's respectable, pretty nice. But at the same time, I have newer heated seat at the highest level. It just roasts you. Yeah, I hear you. Everybody follow my channel. It's I like to talk a lot. I like to share ideas. There you go. Just sharing the ideas. And what I was posting today is here we go. I sold my 4Runner to the dealership, and now a guy works for me, wants to buy it. And what are they gonna do? I've already reached out to the owner's son-in-law and say, you gonna be compassionate and try to give me a deal, or are they gonna be like, well, it's all about making money, so here's the real deal. Interesting, right? And what's interesting is I texted the guy this morning and called him, and he texted back, but he's got other things going on, so I guess that conversation will come later in the morning. All right, so there's a phone call. There's my Coons Baltimore Ford sales guy calling. He was asking about, actually, it's interesting, I guess in the back end they didn't book that race truck I bought. That race truck I bought from him, the Ford F-150 lowered truck two-door, I call it the race truck. Apparently he didn't book out the tonneau cover, the flip tonneau cover, hard cover they put in that truck. He just called me saying, what cover's on that truck? And I had to explain to him. And he's like, did we add that on afterwards or beforehand? And I said, that was on the truck when I bought it. because I know where that conversation's going, and sincerely, I got video to show that all day long. Because if they put it on afterwards, they'd be thinking more that, wait a second, was that part of the deal, or did you ask us to put that on? So yeah, I know that conversation. So there's probably a $700-800 bill that just was added back in the deal, that vehicle, for them. So here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I did all right in the deal on that truck. But anyways, we got to kind of talk, and so we're talking about the Expedition. And I said, I bet you call me tomorrow. I bet you call me tomorrow and you tell me the truck's there. Because it's now showing a delivery date doing the 27th and the 9th of February. But the truck was shipped on the 22nd. So if these guys have their act together in the shipping, I'll be amazed. I just told my sales guy, beyond believable. If that deal played out, if I bought that truck, then with the sale of the vehicle yesterday, then if I did that deal, that would be 7 vehicles in 30 days. Yeah. Wow. Yikes. Well, I mean, and that's not my mission this year. It's not my goal by any means to be out here buying cars every week. I mean, you may think, malarkey. Nah, it's not. I'm not. I mean, that's not where it's going this year. It's not going to be the constant showing me buying a car. You know, I know I'll be like, yeah, everything's so brand new. What am I going to give up? What am I going to give up? I mean, the only thing I can say to you right now is, trade the Raptor truck for TRX. I guess that's possible. I mean, is that possible? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call that out of the realm. But at the same time, am I really fixated on that? I'm not. But anyways, here's what I'm leading up to. So I said, hey, how many cars did you guys sell yesterday? Initially, he said 19. And I was like, then he kind of stopped. Like, let me count. 16. On a Wednesday in the middle of later part of January, on a rainy, cold day. 16 vehicles. So these YouTuber guys out there that are the gloom and doomer guys, I guess the gloomer doomers love to follow gloomer doomers because it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'm just telling you, anybody out there thinks that this country's going broke, okay, whatever. I mean, I'd be the first to raise my hand a year ago. I would have told you a year later at this time, that the car industry would be at the worst it's been in modern times, and the housing market would be the worst in modern times. I don't know, man. I'm just not seeing it. I mean, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not hearing the stories. Nothing. In the bankruptcy section of the Washington Business Journal that I subscribe to, there's 0 bankruptcies. There's nothing going on. So, anyways, just for record, I just think that us YouTubers that are out in the field and can try to convey honest information, so you have to wonder, what's driving the content of a lot of these YouTubers, that it's never ending, bash the car market, bash the housing market, everything's going to crash, get your cash. I mean, sincerely, these individuals, are they the misinformation age, or the misinformation age? I mean, these individuals, purposely promoting all the gloom and doom because that's what gets their channel to get views all day long. I mean, for me, I think so, personally. Is it the misinformation? I mean, I don't know, man. Anyways, just long day now of me driving down the road. And how's my fuel? What's my fuel mileage? I got 15.6 mileage. I can so remember when I first started buying up. It was 1997, summer 97 was the first time I bought myself a Ram Cummins 2500 extended cab, like the bright blue, like an Atlas blue, lightning blue color truck, brand new. And that was in the summer 97. I can still remember that truck getting like 23 miles a gallon. I mean, wow. I think even 25 every now and then. But it averaged like 21 to 23 miles per gallon. And then I got my 98 Ram 3500, two-wheel drive. There's a guy right there. Florida guy, too. Two of them. Two Florida guys. So these are two guys, two cars on a mission that are definitely 90-mile-an-hour cars. Look at the speed I'm at. So if I'm at that and they're walking away from me, are they hitting 95? Ram was a Ram 3500. Always wanted a Ram 3500 dually truck, extended cab, white, that I bought in I literally bought the vehicle in January on a snowy, I should say more of a rainy, cold day over right here in Baltimore, Maryland, at Musselman's Dodge. And that was my first Ram. I don't think I traded anything for that truck. I can't remember, but I don't think I did. I think that was like I added my first Ram truck. But that would have been, but I think that was 98. Could have been 99. I just can't remember. 98. Maybe 98, right? Yeah, I think it was 98. So it was like the January of, no, I don't know. It's too confusing. Too many cars, too much data. But anyways, another, that Ram truck, that got about 20. Because it was, dual real wheels and everything. And, yeah, when I think back, like that truck, I wish I would have kept. Yeah, that would have been a really cool truck to have kept around. But nah, yeah, right, me, no way. The Cummins, man, the Cummins motors, man, just awesome motors. Just love the Cummins motors. And Cummins has had such a strong relationship. You're going on now from the 90s, even prior to that, 80s. Yeah, I mean, when was the first Cummins motor put in the Ram Dodge product? Was that the 60s or 70s? I'm not sure. Anybody's following my channel, I'd be interested to know about that. I mean, just incredible. And for Ram, it's been such a savings on their end of keeping the R&D and everything out from, under them. Ford was using international engines in their trucks, but they had so many issues with those things back in the mid-2000 with the head gasket warping, the head gasket. They didn't torque down the head properly, and they had just major internal engine coolant and oil mixing with one another and had engine problems, where Ford eventually shook hands and sued the heck out of international harvester, international truck engine division, diesel engine division, and then went on their own and internally made their own diesel engine. And when they did that, I was very skeptical of the first generation of Ford building their own diesel motor. So I kind of sat it out for a while to make sure it took some while. The first generation of the diesel Power Stroke motor, it took some time for them to kind of work out the kinks, Yeah, I know. I just like to talk. The talking conversations. Hey, this is encouraging, somewhat, but not totally. But look here. See my gauge indicators on the gears and transmission? See how it's at the highest level? When I got that black Mega tune done on it, that's the way the gauge instrument panel was. And I was like, man, I hope this isn't accurate. So I guess once you pipe these things and you got to do all your special mods and tune it, you lose those sensors. So correctly to operate correctly, I guess that's my thoughts are that is your transmission and your. I just thought it was your transmission temperature gauge and your gear gauge. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what those indicators are. But anyways, it sounds like my black truck, I shouldn't be worried about that, because I was thinking, is the transmission running hot? So anyways, like transmission and transmission cooler, is that kind of what that's all about right there? That'd be my guess. That's encouraging. Oh, the traffic around the 695 Beltway. Oh boy, this truck just rocks. This thing just rock and rolls down the road. Look at that. We got some sky breaking up over there. And up here in the north side of Baltimore, going up to Bel Air, Maryland. Abington, Maryland is actually where I'm going today. So some driving time behind the wheel of the big old Ram truckie. Everywhere you go, it's road construction, road construction, road construction. So look at this here. This road here, I guess their goal was to make HOV or the easy pass lane. As much as they're going to widen this road right here. So I'm assuming the future 2 lanes here will be for the easy pass. And over here to the right, it'll be the regular part of the Beltway. One thing I can figure out, I mean, it just doesn't end. It's just incredible. When I drive around the country, I just everywhere. But administration supposedly passed a bill to invest in all the major bridges and roads. Pretty sure they did. There's your tax dollars at work. A lot of tractor trailers on the road. You see lots of trucks. Seems like that tells you a lot of stuff's being moved around, right? Oh, kind of somewhat in the wrong lane, but it's all right. I got a little time to get up the road and get back over to the right-hand lane. Guys, look at this. Major re-engineering the roads. Trucking down the road. What is it about the trucks? I mean, for me, my favorite driving around, for the most part, is usually being like in trucks. What is that all about, right? My addiction to trucks. I mean, that's really what I've worked out of most of my career is trucks. Not cars, not SUVs, trucks. I just love the trucks. You get going down the road too, there's just so much. This thing here, this truck, it just rock and rolls down the road as I head back home here, and got a little bit of sprinkling and rain here. You guys read another day I was talking about hiding, and that was my theme, hiding, hidden, and apparently close to 50% of the people hide a gun in their car. You know, so what do people have in their car that they're hiding from you? Guns. Yeah. It's like you may be 45%, and then the pepper spray, like 45% of the people have pepper spray. Some have like an axe. Yeah. A tire iron. Yeah. So these are some of the things that people take with them in their car with the assumption that, you know, something may get kind of pretty gnarly. Yeah, so when you're driving down the road, you get an attitude, there's a good, I'd say 50-50 chance the guy you're getting an attitude with has a weapon in their car. Yeah, yikes, right? And we hear about this all the time. About people getting shot at the road rage, and that's the other thing. So Eugene, Oregon is the #1 state in town of the highest road rage. What's it with the West Coast? Is Oregon and Washington State borderline the Wild West? You know what I mean? So, and then Miami and Tampa and a few other cities, some rural areas too. I think Nashville, Tennessee is another one with the highest road rage incidents, and they didn't say much about this Virginia, Maryland area, which I'm surprised because it gets pretty radical. These roads here, Roads do get lighter. This is just that time of the year where, for us in this area, kind of at the middle of January, through usually about late March, early April, it's kind of just quiet. A lot of the kids are back at school, college people and everybody, and it's just people in general just aren't on the roads as much. Not as many people are traveling in the winter months, so it's just lighter on the road. Let me just hit this resume here on my big old Ram truck here. So yeah, anyways, you know, I make videos here and there, and I just like to talk and share my ideas. And there's some people here just hanging out, want to see some sight and scenery. Kind of gives you that, if you know what I mean. Like you're going down the road here with me, like you're sitting over there next to me, right? And temperature warmed up a little bit back there, but it's actually cooled back down here coming into Frederick, Maryland. That other dealership, the Oarsman Woodbridge Dodge Jeep Ram that I went to, they're now calling me and bugging me. I never have said anything to them, but they're now reaching out. Come on back, come on back. I'm like, no. And what's incredible is I try to buy cars from some locations, and the deal doesn't really go down. They can't get the financing, where it be, and nobody even calls. Yeah, they just totally like kick it to the curb. So it's like, it'd be like, yeah, what conversation's gonna come from me responding besides, yeah, I can just say, hey, I bought the vehicle. Well, you had your chance. I mean, but they did me a favor. Here's a whole other, thing where I can honestly say that location did me a favor. Because if they had kind of met my terms on the price, that would have been good, but the financing rate was ridiculous. The terms and the whole deal, and I wasn't getting as nice a vehicle. So I would be within reason, due to the financing, charges, I'd be within reason that, the same, borderline car payment. Not 100%, but the whole point is a much higher interest rate. I was paying a lot of money for the money to use. And so, once again, they did me a favor. This has happened numerous times to me in my adventures of buying cars. And I just say it's the car gods. Because for what played out yesterday, I didn't get into a lot of deep specifics. You just have no idea. Because it just gets too personal. Too much information, personal information. You just have no idea what I pulled off on that Grand Cherokee out. You have no idea. I mean, I'm just not going to tell you in depth what I did that was able to finagle that, which I gave the finance guy an angle on how to get a deal done. Yeah. Beyond believable what I pulled off. Beyond believable. So when that happens, I'm just like, I guess it's time to pull the trigger and move forward and get the damn car. And the wife actually texted me later this morning. She just loves the car. She just really appreciates me buying that car, and she just really loves that car. Which that's awesome. That's good to hear. And I really like that V8 motor. That Grand Cherokee, that's not a very common selection in motors anymore. Mostly the V6. But you got to wonder, are they going to put the Hurricane? I don't think they can put that Hurricane. Well, maybe they could. I guess they probably could. The Hurricane inline 6 could go on that thing because the V8's a pretty big motor. I don't know. Good question, right? All right, back in, and people just rock and roll on these roads, I mean, just rock. Is that rain ahead? Wonder how the ski resort people are doing around this area. Probably about the same as every year. They can make all the snow. One thing I keep on forgetting to bring up this whole week is the Barrett Jackson auction in Scottsdale, Arizona. One day I'm going there. Well, I told my daughter last night, we were watching it, and I said, we're going to go there one day. We're going to take some money. We're going to go buy something. You know what's really interesting is people always ask me, what type of, rare car or older car do you have? And most of the time, I don't have any. And people are like, really? You don't have an older, rare car? I'm like, nope. It's not really into that per se. It's a lot of money tied up for something I'm not going to drive. And, I'm not there. Eventually I will be. My favorite thing I've always wanted to buy is a 63 split coupe Corvette window, rear window, because of my birth year. I've always wanted a nice Hemi Cuda, but good Lord, you ain't gonna buy one of those things for cheap. Wouldn't mind an older Power Wagon, something cool with a truck. And out there, the Scottsdale, seems like there's some pretty good deals going on out there. I mean, the big thing, here's a nice Ram new Probo. I was so used to be fixated on the Ram product and just really like the Ram product and just kind of steered away from it. Ford kind of the frapper me, but Barrett Jackson, wondering if anybody else thinks. It seems like they're getting good numbers, but it seems like the audience is a little light, but at the same time, it's kind of the middle of the week. So tomorrow and Saturday will be the real story, which I'm sure they get good attendance. But it seems for overall they're doing pretty good. But man, you see some of these cars were off the line, and there was a Chevy truck, 17 grand, a lower. It wasn't lower, but it's just an older Chevy truck, really nice. Oh my gosh, I would have picked that thing up in a heartbeat. And so I think there's no doubt in my mind. One day we're gonna go out there and do that. That's always been a goal of mine. I wonder who else follows my channel has gone there and can share their experience. And yeah, you can do the online. You can bid online and get an account set up. That's not bad either. But the real experience is to be there and walk around and just like the NHRA. The real experience is you go there and participate. That's huge. Watch on TV is not even close. Alrighty, here's a guy. Where should say a FJ Cruiser. Got my trailer guy here in front of me as we head back in here. And another thing, another thing. Yeah, another thing I was thinking about that I had mentioned is yesterday I was at the dealer. I was inquiring about the Hellcat. End of the this 2023 is the end of the run of the Challenger and Charger Hellcats, and when I think even the body lines, I think the whole car itself, it's over. So yesterday I was asking the son-in-law, that's owner's son-in-law, Bobby, who manages the dealership. I said, so when does the real value hit these Hellcats? And he's like, what do you mean by that? I said, well, what are your thoughts on when the real reality comes that people can't buy a Hellcat anymore? They're going to pay even more for the ones that are in the market that are used. He's like, well, that's already happening. I'm like, well, how do you mean that? They're still building the Hellcats. He's like, well, you only get X amount of allocation per dealer. And he said the allocations are all spoken for. So it's like anybody watching right now wants to buy a Hellcat. We've already got allocation for them, and that's all we get. So to a degree, you can't order them anymore. Wow. Yeah, I've actually heard this in the Dodge forum as well, is that the dealers have been offering people an opportunity to fill a slot for an allocation to order a car. And I think a lot of the slots have, filled up. I wouldn't say that every one of them has, but here's the thing. Between now and this summer, I'd have to say probably very challenging to go to a dealer and say, hey, I want to order a Hellcat. My thoughts would be, what they might say is, well, we already have Hellcats ordered, and when they come in, we'll give you an opportunity to look at it, to see what you think, but how much is it? Oh, I guarantee you, it'll be pricey if you didn't put your name on it. Now, if you order one in your own name, yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. They're not going to do that to you. But if you didn't put your name on it, yeah. So anyways, the whole point is 2023 definitely could be the year of getting pretty good value out of these Hellcats. Yeah, to me, do I let them go? Yeah, I mean, there was some stupid numbers offered. Yeah, it would be hard to resist that. I'll tell you that straight up. Just like the GT500 Heritage Edition, somebody offered me a pretty crazy number on that. I'd be like, yeah, all right. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Just kind of, sharing my ride. I ride around in cars all day long in my life, and you're on your own and a lot of conversations. So I use my YouTube channel to create my conversations. Like somebody's here next to me, I guess you could say, in so many ways. So I hope others kind of get the feel of that, riding around with me and hearing my ideas and views, and just throw your comments in there, what you're thinking as well. So once again, thanks for all the support, and stay safe, stay tuned, and God bless. What's next? Yikes. Wow. This is kind of unusual. It's all this traffic up here. Usually it's not this heavy this early in the day. What the heck's going on? Crazy. That's not comforting.